If you're interested in taking these ideas as far as possible, presenting the most aesthetic version of yourself, I'm launching a coaching program where I work with individuals one-on-one. I'll evaluate your whole presentation, lock in on a sort of archetype that makes sense for you, and help you get to the 10 out of 10 version of yourself presentationally. I have found that maximizing your looks has an enormous return on your life, and so if this is an area of your life that you're ready to take seriously, check out the link in the description below.
Let's talk about optimizing the jawline. The way to optimize the jawline. Number one, let's go ahead and talk about, obviously, mewing, the big thing about mewing, right? Mewing is one of those things where it's going to be more beneficial when you're younger. Obviously, when you're going through puberty, you're going to start strengthening up this muscle underneath your neck and making sure that that skin is tight. Putting the tongue on the roof of your mouth, but we're going to talk about the root of the issue. Having a good dental plan is going to be like the most crucial thing when you're younger. This is going to be prime time for like your face to start developing. This is why it's very crucial for you to have a dentist and for you to start doing those orthodontic interventions when you're younger, because this is when your face can move a little bit easier. As you get older, the bones in your face and your maxilla is going to be settled. When it comes to you at a young age, having like certain devices on your face and stuff, having those braces and whatnot, it's going to be a lot easier for your face to move to those interventions. When it comes to having a dentist, they're taking x-rays of your jaw and whatnot. Certain things like malocclusion, having an overbite or underbite is going to heavily affect your looks. The earlier that you guys can take advantage of that and the earlier that you guys can fix those things at a younger age, the better. As you get older, it's going to be a lot harder. You're going to start having to do a lot more invasive surgeries in order to fix those underbites and overbites. We're going to be talking about, teeth and all that in another video, but in this one, specifically with the jaw. Now, as you get older, if you have a low hyoid bone because your muscle right here is a little bit weak, or because your thyroid might sit a little bit lower, cause this skin underneath your neck to sag a little bit. And sometimes this can be genetic. Like you can be really thin and have low body fat, but it's almost like this Adam's apple will hang a little bit lower, and that will cause some loose skin to hang down. There are surgeries for that. A recessed chin. The most important part of your jaw is going to be your chin. A lot of people always focus on this side and right here on the ramus and the body of the mandible and the gonial angle. I want you guys to do something. A lot of times if you see an unattractive face, the first thing to look at is their chin. There's a lot of photos comparing like really beautiful celebrities, and when you take out their chin, they lose a lot of points and they don't look that attractive anymore. It can bring somebody from like an 8 to like a 4 real quick. And that's because humans are the only animals that have chins. Think about that for a minute. Humans are the only animals that have chins. That's why the chin is just very, very important when it comes to the jaw. Not so much focus on the corner and this and that, but making sure that you have a good chin. The body of the mandible needs to be shown, and obviously that's going to be covered with excess amounts of body fat. Having that low body fat percentage is going to really help. Again, if you're already thin and you know that your body fat is low, and come on now, I know some of y'all are like, oh, well, I'm thin. No, some of y'all are still fat. Body fat percentage has to be optimally like at around 10 to 12% body fat in order for me or anybody else who's just like, all right, yeah, you might need to look into some surgeries, but making sure that your body is lean enough. That's where a lot of guys are going to get a little bit confused about, right? Because what I'm about to tell you right now is this muscle, right? This is a big trend about like chewing like mastic gum, chewing like hard gums and hard foods in order to build up that muscle to create a jaw muscle, thinking that you're going to get more definition, right? Let your professor go ahead and show you something. Right? So, when I flex my muscle, right, it's very, defined. You can see all that. But when I stop, it's more rounded. So, when it comes to these guys that are like trying to get big jaws and thinking that's going to give them more definition, it might give you some definition when you clench down and you can see the striations and stuff. You know, if you're really lean, you can see the striations. And I do this my damn self. But the thing is, the bigger that muscle gets, it's not really better. Because when you clench down and you see that definition, right? Oh my gosh, yeah, it looks sharp, right? But 90% of the time, you're gonna be relaxed. You're not gonna be clenching your jaw all the time. And when it's relaxed, it actually gives you a rounded appearance. So it actually does the opposite of what you want it to do. With that being said, there are some people that can benefit from it, but there are some people that won't benefit from it. Like somebody who already has a good width to their jaw shouldn't be chewing hard foods and trying to build up that muscle, because it's actually going to make your face look more bloated. Guys who have a narrow lower third to their jaw, and if you don't have a narrow lower third to your face, then chewing hard gums or having fucking jaws their size or whatever, or chewing on a fucking dog toy isn't going to be the best option for you. Some people are going to benefit from it, and some people are not going to benefit from it. To the gonial angle right here, right? Right here, you want to have that nice point. You know, you don't want it to be rounded as much. And right here, fillers are a great option for that. If you wanted to go like extra hard, you could do a jaw implant. But for the most part, most people, all they got to do is just lose the body fat, and then we got to see what we're working with. You know, don't go straight to fillers. Don't go straight to surgery, like surgery or non-surgical things. First, lose the body fat and see what you're working with. And then we could, you know, tell you guys, yeah, I think that would be the right route for you, or no, I think you need to lose a couple of pounds. Because losing weight is going to be the cheapest and easiest thing for you guys to do. Going right here to the Ramus. Now this Ramus is going to affect how feminine or masculine your jaw looks. The longer the Ramus is, the more square your jaw is going to look from a frontal view, not only from the side, but from the front. It is going to see how masculine your face looks. And this is where it's like your jaw is going to look more rounded, or your jaw is going to look more square and give you more of a square masculine shape. The shorter it is, the steeper this angle is going to be. And this is what you see more on females. This is what you see more on feminine faces as well, because guys have it too as well. And typically with shorter Ramuses, they're going to have that narrow lower third that's going to steep down a lot, and that's going to give them more of a feminizing face. And typically these guys will have like a lot of excess hyoid skin. If you go overboard with it and you have too long of a Ramus, it could look really square. Again, everything, bro, it is like you have to be really careful with what you do and making sure that things aren't out of your facial harmony. When it comes to the chin, a really good option is to get Botox or fillers. Those are very non-surgical things that you could do. When it comes to Botox, what it does is it paralyzes the muscle. And this chin right here, if you go up like this, you'll notice that it creates a lot of chin dimpling, which actually pulls your chin muscle up. That can create some chin recession. If you relax that muscle, it'll relax it and give you more chin projection. Now again, depending on your face, you may need it, you may not, but it is an option if you have a recessed chin. Those who have longer chins, I personally haven't experienced, but I'm sure that there are like surgical things that you could do in order to reduce that. Having a recessed chin isn't always the worst thing, because it can be a very simple fix. Fillers, quite self-explanatory, just injections that increase the projection of your chin. Chin implants can be used in order to increase the height as well. If you have a chin that's a small height, can again be a feminizing feature and can knock your looks, because it is in relation to your lip philtrum. If you have a long lip, if you ever seen like some people, a lot of times that's like a big sign that somebody's got a nose job, is if their lip philtrum is very long. For example, that's, I mean, an extreme example, but like Michael Jackson, people don't want their nose to look like that. You notice like his lip philtrum is like very long. And a lot of times, of course, like with African Americans, that's one thing that will go out of proportion is their philtrum. And that's how you could be like, oh wow, looks like that guy got a nose job. And a big thing like to fix that would be to get a lip lift and to have a short philtrum. Having a short philtrum is very ideal. You can look at a lot of beautiful faces and you can see that they have a short lip philtrum. This philtrum is typically 1 to 3 for men when it comes to their chin. Having your chin about 2 or 3 times bigger than your philtrum is ideal. Having that chin at about 2 will give you more of like a pretty boy chin look. Having your chin at about that 3 will give you more of a masculine look. Also, when it comes to chin, when it comes to the width, having it the width of your nose is a more feminizing feature, and having the width of your mouth is a more masculinizing feature. A simple thing to look at is comic books, like superheroes. When it comes to female superheroes, they're gonna have more of a pointed chin that's a little bit narrower. And with men, they're gonna have more of a square, wider chin, and that's gonna be more masculine. So that's it for the jaw portion of this video. When it comes to the jaw, remember that we are trying to show off the bone, not the muscle. When it comes to that, losing that body fat, seeing what you got, and doing some non-surgical or surgical things if it's necessary for you in order to achieve that look and to show off that beautiful jawline. All right, peace.